Hello, my name is Casey. This is Real Life, Real Joy. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about frugal meals. This is the fall edition. You may have seen in the summer, I did a summer edition called Frugal Meal Medley. So this is the fall version. I've been saving video clips of our frugal dinners for about a month and a half, all of September and into October now. And I didn't want the video to get too long, so I'm going to go ahead and put them all together and show you some of the frugal meals that I make for my family, or that my husband makes for our family. I'm very blessed, he cooks half the time. So without further ado, here are the meals. Tonight's dinner is tacos. Didn't have lettuce, but I had purple cabbage. It's pretty good on tacos, actually. We got tomatoes from our garden, and there's tomatoes and garlic from our garden and the guacamole. What else? Kevin's got some spicy peppers over there too. Alright. Tonight's dinner is stuffed pepper casserole with peppers and some tomatoes from our garden. Peter is enjoying stuffed pepper casserole. He really likes the peppers. He picked all the peppers out first. Eat all the peppers. Alright, here's everyone else. Joshua doesn't want any. Hi, Daniel. Let me see you eat a bite of food. No. That is what's left over of our stuffed pepper casserole. So, something like stuffed pepper casserole is not a favorite of all the kids. I love it, and Kevin likes it, and some of the kids really like it, but I think I showed Joshua didn't want to eat. He changed his mind. He had a tiny scoop, realized it was good, and then he had a second helping. Matthew picked around the peppers and ate a little bit. Daniel didn't hardly eat anything at all, but I also gave them a big snack. We had a Victorian tea as part of our school today, so they had a huge chunk of lemon poppy seed bread. So they weren't super hungry. I think if they would have been much hungrier, they actually would have eaten it better. But I love it, and I am super excited about all those leftovers. I will eat that for lunch for several days. Okay, this is dinner cooking tonight. I don't remember what this is called. I think I got this recipe from Big Family Homestead quite a long time ago, and I modified it a little bit because they use a lot of heavy cream, and we don't have a cow, and it's a lot of heavy cream, so I use about a half a cup of heavy cream and I don't know, a bunch of milk. I just pour it in. So I used some Roma tomatoes from the garden, half a cup of heavy cream, some milk, then sausage, about a 2-inch chunk of pork sausage and maybe a 3 or 4-inch chunk of our homemade venison breakfast sausage. And then we got 1 pound of noodles here. And yes, I did put salt, pepper, and some garlic in here from the garden. And my trusty kale powder went in there. And as soon as the noodles are done, I'm gonna drain the noodles, mix it all together. And then for the cheese, I put some mozzarella cheese, maybe about 2 cups. I didn't measure, but it's gonna be yummy. Here's what it looks like all finished. If the kids love it, like I think they will, this probably won't be enough. They might have to have some pear sauce on the side. But we do actually have this for dessert. This is leftover cake from Rebecca's birthday, and our neighbors stopped by with a caramel apple pie. So thank you, neighbors. So they'll get dessert too. It was a hit. Everything is gone. Our skillet meal, our cake and pie, and a jar and a half of pear sauce. These kids like to eat. Tonight's dinner is spaghetti and also zucchini noodles for Kevin and I don't know, probably no other kids. They don't like zucchini noodles, right? Tonight's dinner is fish cakes with some carrots and dip, and Rebecca is mixing up some chocolate zucchini cake. Here is tonight's dinner simmering away. It is cheesy chicken and vegetable soup. There is broccoli and summer squash from our garden, and also some cabbage that needed to be used up, and some potatoes, and a half a can of carrots that I had been feeding to Peter, and I just wanted to throw them in. I didn't feel like peeling a carrot. So I used one large chicken breast, and then there was like another really puny little one in the package. So about probably 2 normal sized chicken breasts, because the one was really huge. And then a bunch of seasonings and about a chunk this big of Velveeta and a little bit of heavy cream. I kind of wing this recipe. My mom used to make something similar called California medley soup, because you put in the California medley vegetables, which is cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots. So in the middle of winter, I'm more apt to make it like that and just throw a bag of frozen vegetables in. But in the middle of summer, when we have lots of vegetables from the garden, I just use whatever I have. And it's really yummy. We will also have a loaf of fresh bread with butter with our soup. Alright, this is tonight's dinner. Grilled chicken legs and chicken thighs. Some corn. Yeah, chicken legs and chicken thighs. And this is rutabaga mashed potatoes. The giant rutabaga from our garden. Yes, and corn that we cut off the cob. Alright, tonight's dinner is shepherd's pie. Underneath is our canned venison, and I used some leftover corn and a summer squash for the vegetables. And then there's kind of a gravy and leftover mashed potatoes, or leftover rutabaga mashed potatoes, and cheese on top. Right, Peter, what do you think, Peter? Does it look yummy? Does it look yummy? Here's our shepherd's pie. That's what it looks like. You can't just take the cheese.
You want cheese?
There's cheese. All of this is cheese on top.
Me?
Tonight's dinner is zucchini pancakes. Okay, tonight's dinner is sausage, kale, and potato soup with fresh baked bread. Say hi, Daniel. Peter is loving his soup without the juice. Forgot to say that we used Kevin's homemade sausage. Right, Peter? And it's yummy. And Becca too. Rebecca made it too. And kale from our garden. Did you help make sausage? Did you help make sausage, Daniel?
We help.
You did? Oh, Joshua.
The pump.
And kale from our garden. And an onion from our garden too. Right, these are all the carrots from Rebecca's garden. We're gonna cook some for dinner tonight. Tonight's dinner is Korean beef. This is my recipe, Korean beef bowl. If you go on Pinterest and search Korean beef bowl, you will find the recipe. Of course, we're using venison. It's like soy sauce, ginger, garlic, some brown sugar, some sesame oil with, I just made white rice and the carrots from Rebecca's garden. I should mention that we actually call these candy carrots because I add just a little pat of butter and about a teaspoon of brown sugar, and the kids think it's awesome. And this is what it looks like. Korean beef with rice and carrots. Yep, Becca's carrots. She grew them in her garden. Yeah, there's Daniel. He's got some water. Let's go over here. Peter approves of the carrots. He's loving them. Right, Peter? Is that yummy? Tonight's dinner is baked ziti. So I have noodles in here. I actually have the penny, the rotini, and elbow because I didn't have enough of just the ziti or the whatever. I didn't have enough. So there's that. The noodles are done. I put about a good handful of cheese, maybe a little more than a cup of cottage cheese. And then I have my canned venison, but you can use ground beef, with a jar and a half of sauce. This one is just the Food Club traditional, generic, and I also had this container full of pizza sauce that was left over from the other day. And yes, I did throw in my kale powder, which is this right here, my homemade kale powder, which I will link the video below of how I made kale powder. And I threw in some Italian seasoning and some extra garlic powder. Now I'm just gonna mix these two and throw it in this 9x13 pan and bake it in the oven until my family gets home. Well, my baked ziti, or baked random noodle shapes, is in the oven, and I have this nice mess to clean up here. But Kevin just took all the kids except for Caleb with him to go get some boots off of Craigslist. So the house is quiet. I should probably clean this all up, but Caleb's outside mowing, everyone else is gone, so I am going to take this opportunity to go sew, and I'm just gonna ignore the mess and ignore the dishes, and I'll clean as much of it up after dinner as I can before we go to church. But for right now, I'm gonna take this half hour, 40 minutes that I have to myself, and I'm gonna go do something fun.
Yeah.
Here's our baked ziti, all finished. Cooling off for Peter. Right. Kevin and Caleb are gone hunting, so we are just having tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches. Most of them have ham in them, except Joshua's. He just likes cheese. Alright, tonight's dinner is vegetable venison soup. So we used our canned venison chunks of meat, and I also used a can or a jar of our homemade tomato sauce, and then I used cans of potatoes, corn, peas, and beans because they were given to us, so they were free. Someone didn't want them, and but normally I would probably just chop up my own potatoes and carrots and any garden vegetables. This is what Peter has been doing while I've been cooking. And I also have some cornbread muffins in there. Whew. So my kids will not be too thrilled with vegetable beef or vegetable venison soup. So in order to give them some incentive, I made the cornbread muffins. They're kind of watching me. So I do not believe in forcing kids to eat food. I feel like that is a choice that they can make, whether they want it or not. But I also don't believe that they should get whatever they want and not try new foods. So this is dinner tonight. This is what they have. This is their choice. We have the soup and we have cornbread muffins. If they give, if they take a really good bite and they give the soup a shot and they try it, they can have a muffin. All I require is that they try it. They can have a muffin. If they finish their whole bowl, like finish their whole scoop, then they can have a second muffin. And then if they want more than 2 muffins, they're gonna have to eat more soup. So that is how we handle picky eaters. Some kids will just give it a try and they'll eat a muffin and they'll be done, but most of them probably will finish it so they can have a second muffin. Cornbread muffins are a good incentive in this house. Right, tonight's dinner is chicken tikka masala. Tikka masala. I got this jar of Indian sauce. It's tikka masala. I don't know if you can read it. This was from Aldi's. It was $2, and I just used 1 jar and a couple of big chicken breasts. I don't think a lot of the kids will like it, but I will, and Kevin will, and we'll see who likes it. Anyone that doesn't like it can just have plain rice. Peter's sitting in the big boy chair. Teaching him how to lift his hands up. Chicken masala was a pretty good hit today, actually. I was surprised. Everyone but one liked it, and even he ate some. You say yay, Peter?
Yay! Yay! So cute and funny. Funny, Peter. I
hope you enjoyed seeing what we had for dinner. If you have a great recipe or tip, leave it in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can get more of these awesome videos.